Trump supporter, Robert Davi. Robert, welcome back. We're very glad to have you.
Thank you for having me, Deidre.
Is the administration's way to get the 10,000 refugees in before President Obama's term ends? Do you think that's the strategy?
Absolutely. I also think the strategy is chaos. First off, you have a Syrian civil war for 5 years. We don't know where America really stands on that. And then you have refugees and migrants leaving the country. I wonder, when America had its civil war, how many migrants of America left to go to Europe or other places? That would be interesting. Look, I have all compassion for the migrants, all compassion for the problems that are happening in that part of the world. But we're ignoring that most of the people being, or a lot of them, besides Muslims, are Christians. And there seems to be an inordinate amount of Christians entering our country. There should be at least half and half, you would think. I mean, even what's happening in Sudan today, in terms of the Christian school that was attacked by the...
Yeah, no, Christians are clearly being targeted in the region. There's no other way to say it. I want to ask you, based on that, there are some fears, there are some concerns that the administration is cutting corners, and therefore security is going to be even more of a threat than it normally would be. What do you think about that point of view?
Well, I think that that's absolutely that was happening. And you don't have to ask me. The security analysts and experts, most of them, are saying that, first off, the vetting process is in perilous collapse. We don't know who's coming across. We know from Europe that not even the passports have been, documentation has been forged. So if you have a problem like that, where we don't know what the vetting process is, how do we then rush them through our country? TSA is having enough problems in our country getting people from A to B in America. So just imagine what's happening now in that part of the world and then coming here. So I think it's a big collapse in the thinking. And it makes me pause, Deidre. I wonder what really is the agenda.
All right, we're going to take the pause, and I just want to ask you about sanctuary cities, because we're nearly 1 year after an illegal immigrant killed a young woman in broad daylight. Katie Steinle, everybody knows her name. She was San Francisco model citizen by pretty much every single person's account. But this idea of sanctuary cities, San Fran is voting to remain one. What can people do? You're in California. Obviously, you're not in San Francisco. But what say do citizens have in these kinds of decisions?
Arrest the Board of Supervisors that have just okayed the sanctuary city. I think that the culpability, when we have a country that's fraying, when we have a justice system that's fraying, a legal system, and the out of control that's happening with law enforcement in terms of our communities, we need everything that can help us put it back together. Sanctuary city sounds like a very compassionate idea, but it's kind of, you know, I think it could be very dangerous, and it has proven to be very dangerous. So that's something where people can go and talk to their, of course, local politicians. California is a rough case, because I think people don't know the real issues behind that. Much like, I don't want to bring up the migrants again, but, you know, the suggestion by Donald Trump saying, let's have a safe zone for the migrants, for the people over there. Why doesn't the world talk about that? Well, the same thing with sanctuary cities. How do you then, where is the sanctuary for the people that are law-abiding citizens that are being victimized by some of the laws that we're putting in place in these, like in San Francisco?
Which is closer to Syria, makes sense even for logistical purposes. Robert Davi, we are always so glad you're here. Thank you.
Thank you,
Robert Davi with us there.